So I'm not expecting a widespread icing event by any means. I know there's obviously going to be concern, as there should be. So you just have to give yourself a little bit of extra time and just pay attention to the latest conditions. But the winter weather advisory, it does go until midnight tonight because we could see some light freezing drizzle. OK, I'm not expecting a hard rain by any means. I think whatever we do get, it's going to be very light and it's also going to be very spotty. Even bigger issue is just going to be how cold it's going to be and for how long it's going to be. We've got an extreme cold warning that goes into effect at 9 o'clock this evening. And that goes all the way through 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. So it's going to be cold and it's going to stay cold for a while. Right now, we've got a lot of clouds. We have a light mist. And the problem is temperatures continue to drop. So you can see where that freezing line is. We're still at 35 degrees in downtown Dallas, but we're already at 31 in Fort Worth, 28 in Denton, 14 degrees, though, in Archer City. So temperatures are plummeting. We also have that north wind gusts anywhere between about 15 to 25 to now 35 miles an hour in Archer City. So after factoring that in, it already feels like 5 degrees below zero in Archer City. It feels like 3 degrees in Graham. It feels like 19 in Fort Worth, 15 in Denton, and 26 degrees right now in McKinney. Looking at satellite and radar, earlier we had just some plain rain. That's moving off to the north and east. In the meantime, we still have some very light drizzle. Hard to even see it at this point. We've also had some reports of some flurries around parts of Graham up towards Archer City as well. So that's going to continue to be a very isolated possibility for this evening. Now, eventually tonight, this is going to be midnight. All the moisture moves out of here. I think by then we're going to be dry. There could be maybe some very light freezing drizzle, but that would be very spotty. Outside of that, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be windy, and it's going to be very cold. So even by tomorrow morning, yes, we're still looking at a lot of cloud cover, but I think later in the afternoon, we should start to at least see some breaks in the clouds working in some sunshine, but that's just not going to help temperatures whatsoever. I think we stay well below normal once we get into tomorrow afternoon. So for tonight, we're dropping down to about 16 degrees at Fort Worth, 17 in downtown Dallas, 11 in Bowie, and 9 in Archer City. But how is it going to feel? It's going to feel much colder. It's going to feel like 3 degrees below zero in Fort Worth. It could feel as cold as about 9 degrees below zero in Graham and 12 degrees below zero down in Haskell. Now, temperatures for tomorrow afternoon will stay below freezing for a lot of us. About 29 in downtown Dallas, 32 degrees at Waxahachie, but 27 in Gainesville and 23 degrees in Archer City. By the time we get into Thursday morning, it's going to get even colder. We're talking about dropping down to 13 degrees in Fort Worth, 8 in Bowie, 10 in Decatur, and 12 degrees in McKinney. So for tonight, freezing drizzle will be a possibility. It's definitely going to be cold and it's going to be windy. Tomorrow morning, we're dropping down to about 16 degrees, but it's going to feel much colder. Tomorrow afternoon, I eventually expect to become at least partly to mostly sunny, but temperatures only make it into the upper 20s, and we're going to have a north wind between 20 to 30 miles an hour. So we still have the weather alert days for Wednesday, Thursday. We're out of it on Friday, but it's still going to be cold on Friday afternoon. We're going to be at 36 degrees. On Saturday, we're going to be in the mid 40s later in the day, but we're going to start out in the upper 20s. That could be an issue because we are expecting at least a chance of some light rain. And if temperatures are below freezing during that time, well, then we're going to have to watch for light freezing rain again. But on Sunday, we can get rid of that. We should be above freezing by Sunday morning. And then we're looking at afternoon temperatures in the low 60s. It gets much better by next week. On Monday, lots of sunshine, high of 70. Tuesday, we're going to be in the low 70s. And then once we get to midweek, we've got 70, low to mid 60s. That following weekend, temperatures in the 70s. It looks mainly dry. We've got 60s coming in after that. There's chances of rain, but that's exactly what it is. It's just a chance of plain rain. Guys, back to you.